Drivers, start your engines.
Welcome everybody to road course racing today from Road America out in Elkhart. No, where is Road America? I don't even know. Ken, where is Road America? I was thinking Elkhart, Wisconsin, but that's
in Wisconsin, I think.
It is Wisconsin, yeah, right. Anyway, welcome to Multi-League Stone River Outfitters Cup Series here on the Multi-League Racing Network, MLRN, coming to you live on YouTube. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that. Along with the like, you'll get notifications for future. Right now, we're in qualifying. Right now, we got 10 minutes qualifying, so we've got some time to kill here. We can talk about the weather and some intro, watching Wesley Holland run on the track. And I am joined in the booth tonight with Ken Huber out in Montana. How's it going out there, Ken?
Oh, thank you, Scott. A wonderful day to be in Montana right now. It's finally hot, and I've got my studio all closed up, so it's going to get even hotter because these guys are going to smoke out my computer, I think, tonight, trying to get around this 4-mile road course.
For sure. This 4-mile road course with a ton of turns. As we look at the track map real quick here, total of 14 turns and quite a few of elevation changes, especially at the end of the track here. Is there any particular section of this track that sticks out to you, Ken?
Well, turns 4 and 5, it's a heavy braking zone going downhill, and can be a pretty cataclysmic entry to that corner with guys trying to get on the brakes, especially on cold tires. I think turn 5 is going to be a turn to watch. The carousel is another one where the back end of the car, that's turns 9 and 10. So that big loop out there, it's called the carousel, and it's about getting the tires down and getting the rear end hooked up to make your way down turn 11. So it'll be pretty exciting. Those are the two turns that kind of stick out to me.
Yeah, definitely. And then come around 14 for the start-finish line, and cars climb all the way back up the hill to the start-finish line. So kind of a unique ending to this track. So takes care of our track map. How about some point standings while we click off qualifying laps here? You got those points, Ken?
I do. So our leader, Justin Michaels, pretty much led this thing all season long, but Justin Michaels just holding a 27-point lead over Wesley Holland. Wesley Holland now in second place. Justin Michaels got 6 wins on the season. Wesley Holland's got 3. Both these guys were the top 2 guys in practice, so you can tell that they're really competing against each other. Christopher Davis in third points. He got 8 points off the lead. James Hearns, his teammate, both out of Canada, 122 points behind in that 4th position. Kyle Chadwick is in 5th, 152 points behind. Back in 6th, we got Greg Mall, and in 7th, Jack Watts. Jeffrey Merck, he's got a road course win on the season, as well as Wesley Holland. He's back there in 8th, looking to score big tonight with 2 wins on the season. Brian Bizzle, back there in 9th position, 191 points back there. Charles Widner, rounding out your top 10 with 192 points off the lead. Rod Mitten is in 11th, 195 points off the lead. Billy Bumgardner, 219 points behind in 12th. Vernon Margine is tied for 12th, 219 points behind. And in 14th, Josh R. Scott, that green 32 car, 227 points off the lead. Rob Haynes is in that 15th slot, 241 points behind. James O. Brown rounds out the last 16 qualified drivers for the chase at the moment with 274 points. Outside looking in is Trent Jum in 17th, Michael Milfelt Jr. 18th, and in 19th, David Schreck, and in 20th, Heath Smith. All these guys are trying to make their way into that top 16, that Sweet 16, so you can make it to the playoff rounds.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ken. What I noticed when I was putting that point graphic together this week is how much the gap has closed to Justin Michael, our leader, with 6 wins on the season, but had a very rough go at it last week, getting involved with a wreck with Kyle Chadwick, I believe it was, coming to pit road. So a lot of cars that gained a ton of points on our points leader most of the season, Justin Michael. So should be interesting going forward. Should be interesting to see what he can do this week as we watch Jeffrey Merck coming to put down a lap here. It's going to take these guys another minute or two to actually get their hot laps in the books, as it takes about 2 minutes and 15 seconds to get around this joint. So while we do that, I'm going to have Ken Huber put on his driver outfit and his driver helmet and introduce us to a segment that we call Hot Laps with Huber.
All right, thank you, Scott. Hey, everybody, welcome to Road America. 4-mile road course we have on tap for you all tonight. We're going to take you around in the Multi-League Chevy Racing Network Camaro. As we head into Canada Quarter here, I'm kind of excited about tonight's race. We're going to take this finely painted car by Patented Paints out for a lap and see how we're going to get it done tonight. So let's jump in the cockpit with me, and as we get ready to set up for the straightaway. So here we go off the final turn here. Straightaway, very long straightaway as we head uphill here. Do our first lap. The flag stand is at the top of the hill. You can see it up here coming up, and this is the start-finish line. And away we are. We're going to get this thing in fifth gear. We're going to look for our braking zone. Very heavy braking zone here. So get the car back down to second gear. Hit this right-hander turn one. The track is not quite straight here on this straightaway, as I call it. This is turn two, this little kink here. Then down into turn three here. Again, hard on the brakes. We're going to set up for a very long straightaway here. So it's very important to make sure that your exit is picture perfect here so you can carry the most speed. Now as we head downhill here, you want to be careful. This is a very heavy braking zone as we get down towards the bottom of the hill here. So guys, if they're not careful, if you run into the back of the driver, we're going to hit the brakes really hard here. Get down to first. Take this left-hander as we head up during a really short uphill part here. Right at the top of the bridge here, looking for our braking zone. Again, being very careful as the track flattens out here. It's very easy to get loose, rear end to step out as we hit the corner to turn six. Right-hander, set this corner up as we head a little bit slightly downhill into turn seven. Again, this is a left-hander, hard on the brakes, back down to second gear as we set ourselves up for the exit and into the carousel. As we go into the bridge, I kind of like to diamond it here in the carousel because getting the exit off, you got kind of a long straightaway with the kink. So I'm going to cut it down here to the right, hit that curve, get on the throttle, get it back into third gear. I'm going to leave it into third gear. I'm going to tap the brakes right now just to set up for the kink here. It's a very long straightaway again. Keep our speed up, keep the momentum up. Going to leave it in fourth gear as we head down towards Canada corner, almost up on the rev limiter, hard on the brakes. Got another strong right-hander as we get into Canada corner here. And we got the last little section of the track here with a slight elevation change. So we're going to take the left-hander, taking it really easy here, looking for our throttle up point. We got it. Going to hard on the brakes again. The final corner, take the right-hander onto the straightaway. Very easy on the gas, and away we go. If you look to the right there, you see the entrance pit lane, which is quite fast at this track. Uphill, as you look for the start-finish line. And there's the flag man. And there you have it. There's a lap around Road America, Scott, and everybody that's out there watching. So kind of excited about tonight's race. We already have two separate road course winners. We had Wesley Holland 2 weeks ago in Sonoma, and then early this spring, we had Jeffrey Merck. So a couple of strong contenders out there on the road course, kind of looking to see what they're going to have for us tonight. Anyway, Scott, back to you. We'll get the race festivities underway.
Appreciate that segment there. Ken did an awesome job with that, figuring out and teaching our viewers how to get around this 4-mile course here at Road America. And as you mentioned, Wesley Holland being one of our road course winners just 2 weeks ago from Sears Point out in California. No surprise, he is on the top of the leaderboard right now in qualifying.
I'm actually a little surprised, Scott, because when we interviewed him last week, he was kind of talking about how he was going to be terrible here and he's not a road course guy. And here he is currently on the pole with that 2:11. That's pretty impressive. I couldn't even get that time during my practice session. So far on the pole, let's see if he can hold on to it.
Not only on the pole, but pretty dominating fashion. 7/10 over Justin Michael. I know Justin has put in a lot of time this week, and I know he has hopes at eyeballing his 7th win of the season, but not if Wesley Holland has anything to say about it. We're watching Vernon Margon right now. He's yet to put down, I think he's on his hot lap right now. Looks like he's going through the carousel, I believe that is, 9 and 10.
Yeah, he's got just a few seconds here to get it done. He's got 20 seconds left, and he's going to be cutting it really close. This is not like road car racing here with the time, where you get that last lap to get it in. You got to get it in before that checkered flag flies. And with 10 actually, I'm looking at the broadcast.
4, yeah, I don't think he's going to make it here. Time is up on qualifying. That is it.
And we got our starting grid set now, Scott.
Yeah, we're going to go right to the starting grid to see, well, it hasn't loaded up just yet. Well, my starting grid's not working here, Ken. So do you have a starting grid for us?
Well, yeah, I got the starting grid, so we'll just go ahead and go through it. Wesley Holland grabs that pole with that 211. Justin Michael 6/10 behind him, 7/10 actually in second. Will start obviously in second. Christopher Davis, the Canadian. Heck of a time for Christopher Davis. Starts in third with a 2:12. Jeffrey Merck, former road course winner as well this season at COTA, starts in fourth. Michael Melfelt Jr., nice time, starting fifth. Christopher Howell will start in sixth. Heath Smith will start in seventh. James 00 Brown will start in eighth. Eric Talent starts in ninth. Loretto Lakes will round out the top 10. Looking at the 11th place position, Charles Widener will start in 11th. Mark Billen will start in 12th. Wally Turheimer will start 13th. Ron Quincell will start 14th. And our next set of drivers did not take a qualifying lap, so they're starting provisionally. Johnny Hamby, his first start in the Cup Series in the Multi-League, will start in 15th. And in 16th will be Joe Marks. 17th, Trent Drum. 18th will be Jack Watts. 19th, Vernon Margon. Remember, he didn't get that lap in. And in 20th will be Billy Bumgardner. In 21st will be Greg Mall. Kim Quick in 22nd. James Hearns in 23rd. Jason Hughes in 24th. David Schreck in 25th. And Robert Mattis rounds out the last car on the start here.
Shotgun on the field for Robert Mattis. A lot of those cars did not unfortunately make a qualifying run, but excited to see what the matchup is going to be like with Wesley Hall and Justin Michael. What was that new? We had somebody new to the Cup Series here.
That was Johnny Hamby in the 321 car.
Where's he? Looks like he's starting in 15th today.
Yeah, starting in 15th. The grid is taking a while to catch up. Of course, it doesn't help when one of your broadcasters accidentally joins the race. But anyway, we're coming out of the final turn, so I think we're getting close to it. This is a short parade lap. So as we're coming up the straightaway, we're going to watch this pace car duck in and see who's going to take us to the green here.
Yeah, looks like my cameras won't catch up with where we are live, but we'll figure that out here shortly. I just wanted to click on John Hambley there, and it won't let me go back.
And we're green right now, so we got well, I'm confused too. We got Wesley Holland side by side with Justin Michael here, and running down the straightaway, see who's going to beat who into turn one. Justin Michael is going to take that position going into turn one. Christopher Davis tucks in behind. Justin Michael locks up the brake a little bit, gets off into the grass. Wesley Holland getting back around. So we watched Justin Michael make that mistake there, got in on those cold tires, and now he finds himself in third, trying to battle back here. Wesley Holland, who was on the pole, kind of wisely just let those guys run out in front of him, and then Justin Michael overbraked himself, and now he finds himself looking behind that Wendy's machine. As he looks to the inside, coming down the hill here, these guys want to be careful. Again, Christopher Davis politely let them have that position. This is a very crucial braking zone. Looks like everybody's making it through cleanly here as I move my way back through, say, the top 8, top 9 people. Everybody's getting through this corner so far really cleanly.
All right, we've got our cameraman figured out, and we are back on track here. Looks like everybody's single filed out, like you mentioned, Ken. I figure out where the pace of this race is going is right now. Wesley Holland still leads them down. Jeffrey Mark looking on the inside of Christopher Davis here.
Oh, Wesley Holland moved back up to our first position here. Wesley Holland just had an off track there. Justin Michael gets by him. What I was going to mention there, Scott, Wesley Holland, if you remember, after pit stops there at Sonoma, got into the back of Justin Michael. And I was thinking that Justin Michael being behind Wesley Holland might be some payback in order during this race. But Wesley Holland now makes a mistake and finds himself back there in the second position.
Big turn of events already for the lead here at Road America. Merck makes that pass, completes that pass on Christopher Davis for the third spot here, coming down for the second half of the course. Lap number 1. We're still in the first lap of the race here.
Michael Melfeld Jr. back there in fifth in that 155 car, having a really strong race so far. I'm hoping for Michael Melfeld. Don't be watching this broadcast till the race is over, and let's get the job done tonight there, buddy.
Yeah, you know what I like about Michael Melfeld? I was watching Wesley Holland. One of the things he does, especially for these very technical races, he'll put up a practice room about 2 hours before the actual room opens for the league. And he did that today. What's no different at 6 o'clock Eastern. He put up a 2-hour practice room. Wesley Holland himself, along with Michael Melfeld, put up by far the most laps. Michael Milfeld spent that entire 2 hours turning laps there, so no surprise to see him breaking in the top 5 here.
So I just watched a pass there. Loretto Lake's getting by Jason Hughes, it looks like. And that battle is over. I was going to say here, the weather here tonight, I didn't get my normal weather report in, but we got a track temperature about 110 degrees. That's about an average track. These cars should be feeling pretty comfortable now that we got a lap in and got some heat in the tires. So let the racing commence, I guess. I wanted to mention something here, Scott, but then I lost it here. So, it was Kim Quick. Kim Quick headed to pit road here, so I'm not sure what happened to Kim, but he's spending a lot of time on pit road currently.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch an incident here. Maybe Greg Maw, I think, may have gotten into some trouble here at the bottom of the hill. Him and James Hearns wrestling for position. Just a clean pass there on James Hearns. Nice job by Greg Maw.
So back here looking at the 7th position, Heath Smith with James 00 Brown. You know, James 00 Brown in that 8th position in that black Retro Cup car that he usually runs the Sunday Night Series, which will be starting up here in a few weeks, I guess. Right now that we're doing a road series there, and I think he's taking a mid-season break, but having a really good run on this road course tonight.
He's looking at the bumper of Heath Smith right in front of him there. And
Eric Talent now back there in 9th, Scott. There's a heck of a battle here. Charles Widener looking to the inside, trying to get that move on that 5 car. Eric Talent does. Looks like he's going to get the pass as they head. Oh, he's going to take Vernon Margheim with him in that 33 machine.
Does a great job there. Eric Talent in 11th spot right now. James Hearns behind him in 12th.
Yeah, speaking of James Hearns there, Scott, he started in 22nd position. He's up to 13th, so he's already almost gained 10 spots. Making a move on that 5 car, Eric Talent almost gets into the back of him there. Going up the hill, down the front stretch here. And you remember that uphill, Scott, that part, you know, it's not very easy going up that hill without any gas in the tank.
I remember that all too well, yes.
Kind of looking to see what other battles we got going on the track here. That battle between Justin Michael and Wesley Holland's kind of cooled off. Wesley Holland about 3/10 behind Justin Michael, kind of holding that ground right at the moment. Not really looking at any moves. One thing I did notice, Scott, during my practice laps for this place, it looks like we're going to get about 9 laps per tank, maybe 10 if you're good with fuel, but looks like that's going to be our pit window. And being that I think the race is 28 laps long, just taking a look, yes it is. That's going to this might make this a pretty interesting fuel strategy race as well.
Yeah, if these guys get 9 laps, multiply that times 3 if it's a 2-stop race, and that brings it to lap 27, which is one shy of 28. So I would think that these guys would want to try to make it to lap 10 if that all possible.
Yeah, Wesley looking for a way around that 87 car now, trying to size him up so he can put him down. Oh, Wesley gets sideways there as they head down towards Canada Corner here. He got a little sideways in the kink. That's kind of a tricky spot there. You're trying to get as much speed through there as possible, and sometimes you just get over your skis on that one. And Wesley Holland did a nice save there, and still in contention.
Yep. Looking at Jeffrey Murch just behind them in 3rd spot. Pretty much 2.5 seconds behind, trying not to lose sight of them the best that he can with 2 wins on the season, one of those being the road course at Circuit of the Americas.
So we got Martha Tierheimer in the chat wishing the Bandit group good luck, and Wally is imagine that, Wally is her favorite driver.
Here's Wally right now, back there in 17th spot in the 75 car. Dutch Bros Coffee.
Yeah, kind of having a quiet night so far, but sometimes, you know, we were talking about fuel strategy. With the way this race could set up, some of these guys running back here and saving fuel that can go 10 laps or so might be running up front by the end of this one. It's hard to say. We'll have to see when this first set of stops occur, but I think most guys, these guys up front, I don't know, I couldn't run more than 9 laps though, Scott, so I'm not sure how these guys are going to do it, but they might be better than me too, so.
We're now looking at a battle between Vernon Margheim and James Hearns. wants that spot pretty badly, and Vernon Margham's putting up a fight, and Greg Mall's right in the distance there, saying, you guys figure it out, and I'll be there to maybe pass both of you when the time comes. So great three-way battle here for 9th spot.
Yeah, and I'm just behind them. You got Jack Watts and Eric Talent. Eric Talent putting all kinds of pressure on that 77 car. Kind of backed off there.
Oh, Jack
77
Watts
drives it
locks
off
him up.
there. So that turn 5 is kind of treacherous. If you get in the brakes too late or lock them up, that's exactly what happens. But 77 car kept his cool, saved the car. Lost a spot though, but at least he didn't bang that thing up.
Looks like the James Hearns did make that pass around Vernon Margheim, and Greg Mall is all over his bumper here to pick up that spot as well.
Yeah, as they come through the carousel here, you can see Greg Mall taking a lower line. As I mentioned in my video there, trying to diamond that corner so you get the runoff here. And Greg Mall's trying to get the runoff as they enter the kink here and trying to keep your momentum up as you come through the corner without getting the car sideways. Sometimes you can make a pass, another passing zone coming up here into turn 12, I believe it is.
Great view off the back of the roof cam of the back of Vernon Margheim's car. Greg Mall closes that gap, can't quite get it done in this corner. Another series of corners to go before we get to the front stretch.
Yeah, there's a little tricky uphill part, a little bit of elevation change. Kind of got to bide your time and try to set them up for the front stretch here, Scott. And then here we go, Vernon
Margheim locks it up. Into the dirt he goes. Another car off in the distance there as well.
Oh, somebody's in the wall. That looked like, oh, geez, I want to say that was our Canadian.
Jack Watts, no?
No, I thought it was James Hearns. I'm looking right now. Yeah, I don't see James Hearns.
Yeah, James Hearns,
no.
I'm saying off the track. Yeah, we just tried to get in touch with him, and we,
we missed that one. So he was having a great night. He moved himself all the way up into the top 10, well into the top 10, and took a header into the tire barrier on the front stretch there. So I think he got a little aggressive on the loud pedal coming out of that final turn, trying to get a good run on the straight stretch, and might have ended his night.
Yep. Apologize with the camera crew again. Whenever we click on a car that's not on the racetrack like that one, it has a hard time catching back up with the live action. So watching the leaderboard, but Justin Michael still in first, Wesley Holland in second.
Yeah, not too much of a big change up there, although Jeffrey Merck is actually looked like he's closed in a little bit. He's now 3.8 seconds behind Justin Michael, those two leaders, Wesley Holland and Justin Michael. So looks like Merck has closed a little bit of difference after start. I think he started in 4th. Yes, he did. So
yeah, I saw that gap as big as 3.8 or so, and Jeffrey Merck has closed it back up to 3 seconds from Justin Michael, our leader. So he is right on pace with them. Maybe he's got something for him as we complete. We're on lap 5 right now, so about halfway through a pit stop.
So looking at the 4th place car, Christopher Davis having a solid run. Got Michael Melfeld Jr. as they get ready to enter Canada corner. And I called that out, Scott, because our Canadian is entering Canada corner. Of course, his teammate took the header off into the tire barrier, so I can't do it for James. But there you go. There you go, Christopher. There's your Canada corner. Great job getting through there.
I think he's one of our only Canadians left out there this week. I know Rob Haynes normally races with us. He's not here this week, so Chris is unfortunately going to be the subject of all the Canadian jokes tonight.
And for reference for our racing fans out there, the reason they call that the Canadian corner is because it's the furthest north point on the track, as it's in relationship to where it lays on Google Earth.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Let's see what kind of good battles we got going on here.
Yeah, Jeffrey Merck has gained even more, another 3/10. He's actually, I'm looking back, got a little sideways there coming out of turn 4, headed down, I forget what that, Moraine Straight, I think it's called. As they head to the downhill section, you can see the 2 leaders ahead of him, and it's a very tough, tricky braking zone as you're going downhill into this corner. Getting it down to 1st gear, then being easy on the throttle. Is going to come up the hill here, and again hard on the brakes, and then back on this left-hander here. Wesley Holland closed all over the back door of that 87 car of Justin Michael, and I think he sees Jeffrey Merck coming, and it's like, you know what, I'm tired of the 87 holding me up. I think I need to get by him. So I think Wesley Holland starting to put some pressure on that 87 car.
And look at those brake rotors glowing too, as these guys are hard on the brakes through these Very sharp corners and technical corners. Through the carousel now, turns 9 and 10. Wesley Holland all over the backside of Justin Michael.
Let's see how Wesley gets through the kink here, because last time we had the spotlight on him, he got a little sideways here. Let's see if he can roll through here nice and smooth. Does. Justin Michael gets out a little wide. Both carrying good momentum through here as they head down towards Canada. Kind of seeing what other battles we got going on the track here. Got that 77 car of Jack Watts back there in 13th. But I put the camera on him, and then him and the guy behind him both go off the track. I think that was Jason Hughes. Yeah, Jason Hughes is off the track, and there might be Laredo Lakes, I think, was also, had a little trip down through the sand trap tonight. Crews are going to have fun cleaning all the sand out of those grills.
For sure. Looking at James Brown. James Double O Brown back here. He's having a good night in 8th spot all over the back bumper of Heath Smith up here.
Yeah, these two guys have been running nose to tail all night, and they're having a really good run of it. Just seeing back here, David Schreck, look at this. Back here in 16th, he's actually having a decent night tonight. He's kind of struggling at Sonoma, but David Schreck back here in that 9 Intel car, having a really good night. My hat's off. Good job there, Dave.
Yeah, nice job, Dave. Cruising around there. No damage on the Ryan Newman Alltel car.
So Kim Quick, our league administrator, is back on the track. He's a minute 41 seconds behind everybody. Kind of interesting. I'm not sure what happened before, but he didn't go a lap down. Got a pit stop in, so
I'm going to go back up front. Looks like Wesley Holland's closed up the gap a little bit with Justin Michael. 7 laps on the board, probably within 2 laps of pit stops happening here. Oh, let's go back to 3rd place. Jeffrey Merck off the track again.
But at least it's not an oval. Oh, man. As Christopher Davis gets by, I think Jeff didn't really want to let him by, or was trying to figure out, he was in the middle of the track trying to figure out which side he should be on. I'm not sure, but it was a close call. Good heads up driving there by Chris.
Yeah. Back up front, looks like that gap has opened up a little bit between Wesley Holland and Justin Michael. And then we're back in 3rd place, Christopher Davis. And Michael Milfeld, good on him. We talked about him having a great run earlier tonight, and now he's looking at the back bumper of Jeffrey Merck, trying to pick up 4th spot, take advantage of his mistakes tonight.
Yeah, and while we were talking there, Scott, somehow, I think, let me just double check something here. Could have swore James Brown got around Heath Smith, but I have to wait for my relative to catch up. Yeah, he did. So, and as I said, that James got a little bit off track there, was able to keep it going, didn't lose position, but somehow we missed that battle back there.
Yeah, there you see him now. James Brown in front of Heath Smith. Greg Mall in the distance looking on in 9th.
So, if I was driving the car, Scott, I think I couldn't go another lap, so I'd be interested to see if we see any pit stops this coming lap and whether they're going to take tires or not. So, if they can go that additional lap, then that means fuel strategy might be out the window, but this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out this next time by.
And if they can, could it be a possibility that some guys towards the back of the pack that aren't running quite as quick of a pace, maybe they could take advantage of the fact that they might be able to run a 2-stop race where the leaders might be forced to make 3 stops, and could we have a surprise winner at the end of this?
Yeah, that's kind of my thought there too, Scott. So you can sneak one off here with fuel strategy, but this will be the telling moment this time by. If both these guys stay out, then I guess they will be able to make it the distance. And the other thing that's been interesting this season on the road courses is tires. We've seen a lot of guys not take tires at all this season. So as they round through the carousel here, watching Wesley Holland just kind of pacing there. It's about 7/10 behind. Maybe biding his time for the pit stops and maybe try to beat them during the pit stop. As they're starting to come up on lap traffic there, I noticed too. So it looks like Justin Michael's first victim up there as far as lap car is going to be Robert Mattis.
There's Canadian corner, which means we only got a couple more corners to go before the front stretch and potential pit stops. This will be a telling lap here as the fuel strategy for the rest of this race here.
Yeah, as they come around the final turn here, let's see if anybody ducks off towards pit lane. And they're staying out, so I do see one of the lap cars. Looks like Charles Widner or somebody headed to pit lane.
Yes.
But yeah, these two guys stayed out, so that's going to mean they could go 10 laps, so they should be able to make it the distance. So much for fuel strategy.
Yeah, watching all the way back to 6th place. Christopher Howell right now coming around the last corner. The first 5 cars definitely stayed out on the racetrack.
I think I'm just not very good with fuel there, Scott. I just burned too much fuel.
I thought I was the one that wasn't good on fuel.
No, I'm definitely not, because I don't know any other speed but fast. I used to play a fuel strategy game, and then when you get beat a few times, like you know what, I'm just gonna let the cars fall away far, and I'm just gonna run this thing hard.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. From my standpoint, I think I would have more wins under my belt if I didn't worry so much about fuel strategy and just race the car.
Anyway, as they come up the hill here, turn 6, going into turn 7 here, this right-hander looks like they're still nose to tail. I don't imagine they'll stay out another lap. I'm still really interested in the tire strategy, Scott. So with these guys taking no tires the past few races, it's going to be interesting. And being that they're going to have to do this with 2 stops, if you choose not to take tires, how many times are you going to do that? Are you going to do it both times, or are you just going to do it once? And when are you going to make that move, right? So
yeah. And with it only being a 2-stop race, you really don't have an opportunity to like try it and then see if you want to make adjustments, because you've only got pretty much one shot at it, because it's only a 2-stop race. So it's either going to make it. Hopefully you've done your research beforehand, because you're kind of no time to figure it out during the race here.
And what kind of lap times are you showing this last lap? The last time that they had there, Scott, I don't have a relative like you do, so
2:12s, yeah.
So they're still running a really strong pace then with these older tires.
Yeah, these first 2 cars, Justin Michael that time with a 2:12.5 and Wesley Holland with a 2:12.2, a little bit faster, but those are the only 2 cars on the track. No surprise with the gap that they have, 10-second lead over 3rd place. They're the only ones in the 2-minute 12 seconds. As I watch Justin Michael on pit road, Wesley Holland chooses to stay out. That's going to be interesting.
It is. I'm really bad on fuel.
Let's pay attention. I want to watch Justin Michael on pit road, only because I want to see if he's doing 2 tires, 4 tires, or maybe no tires. I can't imagine 2 tires would be too advantageous on a road course, huh?
Yeah, no, that's probably not a smart move. Unless you could do 2 backs or 2 fronts, but doing one side on a road course probably detrimental to your race.
Right. Here he is on pit road. Gas going in the car. I don't see the jacks going up, so...
Nope, and Jeffrey Merck went into the pit lanes as well, so he's about to hit his pit stall. So Justin Michael, no tires. See what Merck does here. Merck's in there. I don't see tires going on that car as well, so... Yeah, really interesting. So I'm wondering if they can go all 28 laps with no tires, or they will be taking tires the next time by.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Now, I know those guys are teammates, Jeffrey Mark, Justin Michael, so maybe one of them have done some research this week to figure out that that's what they want to do. Wesley Holland, on the other hand, is on his own team at Bad Apple Racing, so he does not have access to the same communications that Justin Michael and Jeffrey Mark do, so it should be interesting what Wesley Holland decides to do this time around, especially since he didn't see him on pit road, so he doesn't know really what he did on pit road, so...
Yeah, unless he's got some intel, unless he's got the broadcast up. We just told him everything.
That's true.
We're giving inside intel to the drivers on the track is what we're doing here, Scott.
Maybe that's why he stayed out another lap, right? So we can tell him what Justin Michael's doing.
Got some more cheers for Bandit Motorsports in the chat. So, yeah, glad to see you guys here in the chat. I mean, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. We're watching Wesley Holland at the moment get through the final 2 turns here as he heads uphill. I imagine he'll be on pit lane this time. I'm really curious about tires for Wesley Holland. We'll see what he does. I'm hearing that the carry is bad on fuel too. And that's from one of the Bandit guys.
Oh. There he goes. In this time, no surprise. Let's see what he does. Long pit road here. Seems like a long pit road before you even hit the pit stalls.
But the beauty, at least this pit road, Scott, at least you can enter it fairly quick. It's a straight entry, and it's really not too technical unless you overdrive it.
Okay, see Kim Quick there on the right side getting 4 tires. Wally Tierhammer, I don't know if he's retired, but he's been on pit road for a while, probably grabbing a hot dog and a beer.
Wesley Holland in his box. It's like he hits his marks.
No
And
jack.
it looks like no tires.
Down the way
Wesley's
now. Just trying to follow this. This got really interesting, right? Where he comes out in reference to Justin Michael, flies by there on the pit road exit rather. Justin
And
Michael
Justin
smokes
Michael
it
did.
into turn 1.
Oh, he's going to go in there hard. You know, I made that mistake last year,
Wow.
Scott, if you remember. I went into that corner, but luckily I didn't hit the wall. It looks like he's headed back out.
Yeah, we're going to watch this from a replay here. Whoops, what do we do here?
Yeah, and this is a new damage model. He's off the track again. He's headed back into the tire barrier, so I think he's got a tire down in that car. And he's getting it towed in. So tough break for Justin Michael. Had a really strong race again, road course race. That one was thrown away again. So I wouldn't say he's throwing them all away, but that was a tough break for Justin Michael.
Wow, that's got to be quite the relief for Wesley Holland, right? You'd see your big competition have a lead of 14 seconds over the rest of the field. Jeffrey Merck there now in second. Wow.
Yeah, one of the big things about road racing there, Scott, is keeping the pressure on your opponents. And right now, Wesley has got to be breathing a big sigh of relief. He can kind of just control this race at this point with that 15-second lead he currently holds.
Yeah, I gotta believe that screams to me kind of a mental mistake, right? I don't think if Justin Michael had let's say if he had a 15-second lead on his own and he just was cruising out of pit road and then the next lap, I don't think he makes that mistake 99 out of 100 times. But with the pressure of Wesley Holland and knowing what was at stake in terms of getting the lead after the pit stops, I think it just all got in the head and probably missed his braking point, and away she went.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened to him. I think in the same corner at the start of the race, kind of locked it up. I seen all the dust coming off that car, so got in that corner super hard. And that's exactly what I did. There's no real brake marker there, so you have to kind of pick a spot on the side there to hit your brakes. And because if you go into where the GT cars are labeled, where they have the brake markers, you're way too late. And so you're looking for something off the pit wall or a pit box or something to use for a braking zone, because these cars are so difficult to stop. I'm curious about Jeffrey Merck, because he was third. He should be in second. But Jeffrey Merck now, I'm showing in 6th position, waiting for timing and scoring to catch up, approximately 19 seconds behind our leader, Wesley Holland. So
I'm showing him in
like,
second, 14 seconds back.
Yeah, so the pit stops had to cycle, but Jeffrey Merck was only 2 or 3 seconds behind when he came into the pits. Now, Jeffrey Merck also didn't take tires, so he should have had a similar pit time, but he lost over 10 seconds on that pit stop.
That's true. Do you think even after his incident, remember we saw him at the bottom of turn 5 there, he had that incident locking up, so even after that,
that's
he was
right.
only,
Yeah, I forgot.
he probably lost about 6 or 7 seconds at least there, right? So, I don't know.
I need to get back on the bottle.
So I am looking at pit stop times that last time. Wesley Holland with an 8.5 second stop, Jeffrey Mark with an 8.2. The rest of the field all in the 14s. There's one 13.9 there with Greg Mall, but the rest of the field all in the 14s tell me that everybody else in the field took 4 tires.
Yeah, very interesting here. I'm just going back through the field, see what kind of battles we got out there. Watching Vernon Margon, let's see what he's got going. He's just behind James 00 Brown, currently running in 8th. So James Brown started in 8th, still running in 8th, but Greg Mall has made some improvements. Started in 20th. He's up there in the 7th spot right now, kind of running by himself as he heads towards. I got lost on the track here, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I'm at. It's my view here, Scott, there as we head towards the carousel there. I'm back on track.
Yeah, it looks like that is just about the closest battle on the track now. Vernon Margheim, and then about a second and a half ahead is James 00 Brown.
Looking at the 95 and see who I got here. The 95 is being chased. I'm not sure if that's a lap car here. I'm just running down. Oh, that's Robert Mattis, 17th. Yeah, 1 lap down. So kind of everybody single file, and then this is where we get into cruise mode in this point of the race here.
You say cruise mode, but if we go back up front, Wesley Holland is still pulling out. He's gained another 1.5 seconds over Jeffrey Merck in second, so he is not slowing down for anybody.
Yeah, and that's another thing, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with me, Scott. One of the things that you find yourself in when you have a big lead and then you start changing the way you drive, because all of a sudden you gained all that time, then all of a sudden you start making mistakes because just different. You just kind of relax and you start driving it different, and then you find yourself making a mistake. So I kind of like to stay in the throttle and do what I was doing to got myself into the lead.
Absolutely, I'm exactly the same thought process too, and I almost play games with myself trying to match lap times and be as consistent as I can. But yeah, I agree. If you back off to 70-80%, you end up missing lines, and the car turns different on the entry, exits different when you can jump on the gas, and just end up all over the place, especially at a place like this where there's not much room to run off the track without hitting the grass.
So back here in fourth with that 155 car, Michael Melfeld Jr., he's just about a second or two behind Christopher Davis, seeing if this battle is going to heat up here. Probably one of the closer battles here on the track. Watching that Wendy's machine and that Confederated Auto, I believe it is. Is that Confederated Auto? I can't remember on Michael Melfeld Jr.
Confederated Auto, yep. Old Ken Schrader scheme.
Oh, I think Michael Melfeld's watching this broadcast. He just got sideways.
Oh,
Mike,
boy.
drive the car. Drive the car.
Turn the volume off, Mike. Drive the car. No texting while driving, right?
Yeah, that's a rule. So, as I was saying, he was catching up to Christopher Davis. He gave up a little bit of time there. Just behind them, Christopher Howell in that 70 car. I can actually identify it now. That Fanatec machine, that blue and white one. You did a great job painting that car there, Scott, the number that was on it, but it looked like a 20 for so long, and that I was calling that car out wrong.
It did. Looks
really good now.
Ken and Kim special, because you guys couldn't figure it out, so we changed the number for you.
Yeah, we don't look at our relative. We're like apes, freaking knuckle draggers, and I got to look at pretty colors and big numbers to figure out where I'm at.
I got a note here that Greg Mall may have crashed, but he's actually on pit road.
And I'm watching a battle right now on the track. Werner Margheim all over the back of that 00 car. James Brown. As I head down towards Canada corner here, see if Werner Margheim can get to the inside here, and he does. Can he get the position? No. James Brown holds him out on the outside, able to carry that speed through the corner as they head uphill back towards the front stretch here. James Brown will hold on to that 8th or 7th position now, I should say. So he made a position up on the track. Yeah, I see Greg Mull on the track. He's just coming up on the lap car. David Schreck here, currently running in 12th. So Greg Mull in 9th.
Yeah, it's kind of odd that he made 2 stops. We saw him just exiting pit road. Last time was a 45-second stop, so maybe he's getting some damage fix or something, but... Oh, David Schreck just behind them, into the wall hard. Right in front of our leader, Wesley Holland, too.
Yeah, that car is done. He's going to have to get it towed. That right front wheel is just hanging on that car. It looks like he broke the A-frame. Oh, no, he's coming back on the track. He's got Kim Quick coming. Oh, that car is done, though. He's going to figure out that car is not going to turn here.
See if we can get a quick replay. We're on board right now with David Schreck right behind Greg Mall. This comes off the corner into the grass. Gets the left side into the grass, and away she goes.
Yeah, this new damage model makes you pay for mistakes hard. And I think David Schreck, he's got Christopher Davis coming up behind him, and that car is going to be very difficult to turn.
Look at that new damage model, too. That right front with the sparks. That's kind of cool. I mean, it sucks for David Schreck, but it's kind of cool to see that new damage model. iRacing, I think, did a great job with that.
Yeah, Christopher Davis gets by safely now. Michael Melfeld Jr. looks like he's going to get by safely as he nurses that car back to pit lane here. Back up front, our leader is still Wesley Holland. It's like he's putting some pressure there on Greg Mall, about to put him a lap down. So Greg Mall is currently running 11th. Wesley Holland running some blistering lap times. And he's got a 25-second lead over Christopher Davis. I'm not sure how that happened either, because Jeffrey Merck is must have had something happen to him too, because he's back and forth.
We're looking at Merck right now with some left front damage. Let me see, go back a little bit and see if we can find him in our incident list. I can't find him here, but
yeah, I'm not sure what happened there too. I don't see exactly what happened, but obviously having some struggles out there tonight. Christopher Davis still out there running a solid second place there, just ahead of Michael Melfelt Jr., who's just about 3 seconds back behind Christopher Davis after that mistake, kind of holding his ground. Both these guys running about equal lap times right now. Wesley Holland, our leader, up on the back door of a lap traffic. Greg Mall, I don't usually say that for that 7 Miller Fortune car, but he's about to go a lap down. Wesley Holland taking it to the inside as they head uphill back towards the front stretch. And Greg Mall kindly moves over and lets Wesley Holland by. And that leaves us with 10 cars on the lead lap. And we're on lap 15, so we're about another 5 laps away from another pit stop there, Scott.
yeah, I think so. Halfway through this round number 2 of the pit stops, we're going to rewind a little bit. I think I found the Jeffrey Merck incident. We're going to see what happened here. Coming to the top of the hill here. There it is, into the grass, into the sand pit, and into the tire barriers in the last corner for Jeffrey Merck.
Yeah,
Tough break for him there.
we're seeing some struggles tonight with the sand and the tire barriers. So this is not a golf course there, Jeffrey, Justin.
We're not lawn mowing here.
The two teammates must be used to playing from the sand traps there at.
Wesley Holland up front with a 2:13.1. He's the only driver in the 2:13s, opening up a 24-second gap over second place Christopher Davis.
I was giving a shout out to the 02 car, Heath Smith, back here running in 6th place. He's only made 1 spot at the night, but being that we haven't talked about him that much, he's having a pretty solid night, I would guess, because he's staying out of trouble, keeping it clean. Maybe start knocking on that door for a top 5 there, so by having that quiet night.
Yeah, only 5.5 seconds behind Christopher Howell, was certainly within reach as we just over halfway in this race.
Going back through the field, just behind him, James Brown, as you mentioned, and then behind James Brown, just about 5 seconds back there, is Vernon Margheim having a pretty solid night. Started in 18th, finds himself in 8th, had a couple little slides, but still having a really solid night out there in that 33 machine. And Vernon Margheim, we've talked to him a couple of times this season post-race, and he isn't a big fan of road course racing, so out there running a solid 8th, having a decent night.
Yeah. I think we talked to him we talked to Vernon last week, right? I think he finished
I believe he,
third maybe, or second?
Second, I think.
Second
or
yeah.
third, yep. Eric Talent just behind Vernon Margheim now. I shouldn't say just behind. He's quite a few seconds back there behind Vernon Margheim, running in ninth. And then Charles Widener running in 10th in that 95 Craftsman machine. Kind of having a solid night there for Charlie.
That's it. Charlie is the last car in the lead lap. Only 10 of the original 23 cars are still in lead lap here.
Yeah, something else I'll give a shout out to. Kim Quick had that early pit stop. He's back there in 12th position. He's 1 lap down, but he's kind of having a really solid night. I think if it wasn't for that early pit stop, he'd probably be maybe running in that top 10. So I'm not sure what happened with him early in the race, but there you have it. He's having a pretty decent night if it wasn't for the fact that he was lapped down.
Nice job out there, Kim. From Port St. Lucie, Florida, our admin for Thursday nights. Usually jumps in on races like this where he doesn't have too much work to do in the tower because there's no cautions this week, so takes advantage of that, get some wheel time.
So moving back up to the leader there, Wesley Holland. So one thing, Scott, now the stake, Christopher Davis could be all over him. He could have one of those incidents that Justin Michael had, or Jeffrey Merck. So I think heads up driving. It's really easy. You get out there and you're running 30 laps at a long road course like this that you maybe start zoning out. I know I do sometimes, and you make that mistake. The next thing you know, you're in the wall. Your night's over.
Absolutely. It only takes one mistake, just like we saw Jeffrey, or what's his name? David Trek make earlier. He put 2 tires in the grass, and away she goes, uncontrollable and non-savable. So just one mistake could be detrimental, costly for Wesley Holland up here. But back here, it almost looks like Michael Milfelt is maybe, let's look at what this gap looks like. Yeah, Michael Milfelt, I think, might be closing the gap on Christopher Davis. What do you think?
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm only showing a second. Yeah, and I'm seeing, you know, Christopher Davis got to be seeing that 155 car growing in his mirror as they head into lap traffic here. So this might play a factor as they get by the 14 car there. 14 car lets them by as they come up on Kim Quick in that 21 car. Let's see if we can make a move here. And the other thing, Scott, is we're getting close to pit stops is curiosity on taking 4 tires or not, see if the tires are wearing down pretty good. I wonder, when you get a chance after we check out this battle here, I wonder what kind of lap times Wesley's running currently.
Yeah, right there, almost ran the fastest lap of the race, so 2:11.9.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So I got a couple chats, or I got a couple of shout outs in the chat there. Michael Melfelt Jr. has got a fan out there.
Oh, did Christopher
Marbella
Davis?
Rose.
What happened to Christopher Davis? Did
Oh
he
no, I think he
into the
headed
barrier. Wow.
Oh, tough break for Christopher Davis. I don't see a lot of damage on that car yet. Yeah, I don't see any damage on it, so I don't know. It might have just got it stopped up against the tire barrier there, but the car still looks clean. So
yeah, let's rewind that one for us. Passing Kim Quick on the outside there, and I think he just might have gotten, overcooked it into turn 1, like we saw Justin Michael do earlier in the race, and into the tire barrier.
Yep, and that's exactly where I did it last year. So yeah. Well, he's currently running in 5th, so he's only given up a couple positions to see if he can hustle it back. So anyway, as I was saying out in the chat there in YouTube land, got Marbella Rose wishing good luck to Michael Melfelt Jr. Now Michael Melfelt Jr. finds himself in 2nd place after that incident with Christopher Davis. So Michael Melfelt is having a great night tonight, you know, and if Wesley Holland messes this up, it could be Michael's. So, and unfortunately, we're missing Rod Minton tonight. So had some license requirement issues for the road course. But I'm sure Rod will be back next week and to give him hell, so to speak.
Yeah. You know what I like about these first 2? We mentioned when this race first started, Wesley Holland put up that practice room. The 2 drivers that put up the most laps in that room, as well as the league racing room, Wesley Holland and Michael Milfelt. So no surprise to see the guys that are practicing most during the week running 1-2 up front.
Yeah, the least mistakes are the order of the day here at Road Atlanta. 4 miles of, I don't know, I kind of really like this track, Scott, especially in the stock cars. When we first started running the stock cars at this track, I remember, I don't know, it must have been 5-6 years ago, they brought out the Xfinity Series here. And it was a rainy day, and I was watching, it was carnage. It was windshield wipers and fenders laying all over the track. And I'm talking on the real NASCAR stuff. And
yeah,
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they run that stock cars here. But it's become actually kind of one of my favorites now for stock car racing because there is opportunities to pass here. If you're fast and you can get around somebody here, the track is a great track to race at.
Speaking of mistakes and trying to minimize mistakes, Jeffrey Merck back here in 3rd, 34 seconds off the pace of Wesley Holland, but trying to close that gap to Michael Milfelt Jr., trying to pick up at least a 2nd spot if he can.
Yeah, he does appear to be running them down here. I'm just looking at pit lane here, looking where our leader is. So their leader's in the carousel. So be interesting if Wesley Holland hits pit lane this time by. That'll give us 9 to go, and see what Wesley does with tires here. But if he's running some of the quickest laps of the race, then might be a no tire stop again.
Yeah, remember he also ran 1 lap extra, right? We saw Justin Michael come to pit road first, take no tires. So
yeah,
he
that's
ran
very
extra
true,
lap,
yeah.
so he might stay out this time. I think he almost locked him up there in Canadian corner.
I noticed that there. Got in a little hot, did a good job of not totally locking him up, but had to keep that steering wheel straight before he turned in.
I feel like this is that period of the race from a leader standpoint. You have that huge lead, like you mentioned, kind of get into daze mode, and mistakes can be very quick to happen here.
Yeah, well, he's going by pit lane. Looking back here at Michael Melfelt Jr., about the best battle on the track is Jeffrey Merck is closed in here as they head towards Canada Corner here, and see if either one of these guys hit pit lane. I believe both these guys were in on lap 10, so both these guys will probably be due. As you mentioned, Wesley Holland staying out that extra lap. Makes sense that he's still out there.
Merck closing up quick. I would think that if I was in Mark's spot, you know that you're faster, you know you still get 9 laps to go. Normally it doesn't sound like a lot of time as it comes to pit road this time by, but it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but a road course like this, the laps are over 2 minutes. That's 12, almost 15 seconds, or 15 minutes rather of racing, so still a long ways to go.
I also want to shout out what Jeffrey Merck did there, though. He caught up to the back of Michael Melfelt Jr., and it might have been the smart move to come into the pits when he did. He might have been able to stay out there another lap. But if he'd have stayed out there, he might have been following behind Michael Melfelt, and it could have been slowing his lap times down a little bit. So as soon as he got behind Michael Melfelt, hit pit lane, not lose any time, get his pit stop, final one done in the night, and not lose any time on the track. Although he just lost some time there because he missed his pit stop. Had to back it up just slightly.
Yeah, that'll hurt him. But yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to, that if he's following Michael Melfelt, like to kind of wait and let it sort itself out after the pit stops, you know, but that's even smarter move to come to pit road when Michael Melfelt does not.
So here we go for another lap here. Looking at Wesley Holland, looks like he's headed through the kink here, back down towards Canada Corner. He should be on pit lane this time by, I'm envisioning. But I also am not very good at math. That's why I do this for a living.
Canada Corner, that's where he locked it up last time, and he kind of runs that a little bit wide as well.
He's got about a 35-second lead over Michael Melfelt Jr. He's really killing it there. Wesley Holland, there he goes, headed to pit lane, up the hill here, full throttle, and you're going to hit the brakes right about now to get it wound up to, I believe it's 55-45. And it's a long ways down to your pit stall, and it seems like it takes forever. And you're watching that relative, watching where the other drivers are, and wondering how much time you're losing. Although I think with 35 seconds, I doubt Wesley's sweating too much. It's just probably thinking to himself, no mistakes, no mistakes.
Yeah, I think one of the big things is hitting that entry cone and giving yourself enough slack so where you're not maximizing that, right? Where you have no chance of speeding, because that's one of the big things that can kill you with a 35-second lead.
In his pit box. I don't see the jacks going into the car, so no tires again.
Got it revved up, drop the clutch, and away we go. It's his last stop of the race.
Michael Melfelt Jr. now on pit lane, headed to his pit stall. Got that 35-second deficit. He's going to need Wesley Holland to make a mistake to make anything happen tonight. The thing I'm curious about here, Scott, is remember Jeffrey Merck was right behind Michael Melfelt Jr. on that when Merck came in, so be interesting how these two guys shake out with each other when he exits.
I'm gonna notice that. Let's see what happened to Jeffrey Merck. May have crashed here. Let's see what happened. Off the grass again. Merck, how many times do we have to tell you no more lawn mowing?
Well, that might have answered my question there. So Michael Melfelt Jr. is back out on track, headed back out into turn one, and he is going to beat Jeffrey Merck. Jeffrey Merck headed back into pit lane. I'm sure to get some damage repaired on the car. I'm not sure what happened there. He also had a very short pit stop. So one of my other curiosities is if he put enough fuel in that car, because it was very short. It seemed like it was just like 3 seconds.
Who's that? You're talking about Melfelt?
Jeffrey Merck. When he did his last pit stop, it was very quick. And
yeah, I don't even have a time on his pit stop. That's weird. Michael Melfelt that time, actually, there it is. Jeffrey Merck with a 9.7, so that sounds like a no tire change. Michael Melfelt with a 14.5, that's telling me he probably took 4 tires. Christopher Davis, same thing, 16.2, 4 tires.
Yeah, I wasn't watching. I was trying to compare. I wonder about if Michael Melfelt Jr. Took tires, but you're probably right there. I was just trying to see how things shook out, and then this time Merck spent about, I don't know, 10 seconds on pit lane. Looks like getting fuel in that car. I almost feel like he didn't have damage. I felt like he didn't take enough fuel that first pit stop, and that might have got him off his game of racing and thinking about his fuel strategy, and then he made that mistake.
True. Yep.
Anyway, I'm not in the car. He is. So if he could somehow get a third position here on that podium, we might be able to talk to him, ask him what the heck. Is he a race car driver or a golfer? Trying to be Tiger Woods out there.
Charlie Widner potentially with some problems here. Looks like off of pit road. I don't see too many issues. Maybe into turn one. We'll take a quick look here on the replay. No, Charlie does a great job coming off pit road there.
So you know who's snuck into the top five? I'm not sure if he's pitted yet, and that's Vernon Margheim in that 33 car. He's back there in fifth. Kind of cruising along.
Showing him eighth right now. Yeah.
Then my timing and scoring has not caught up.
Just, let's see. Yeah, I just came in off of pit road last time by, so maybe you're just hadn't caught up after pit road.
I'm behind on my timing and scoring. It's okay. He's still having a decent night, and he gets a shout out. So there you go.
Jeffrey Mark making the pass on Heath Smith without cutting the grass. Great job, Jeffrey Mark. Maybe we need to praise him more for all the corners that he completes without mowing the grass. What do you think?
Yeah, that's like hitting it off the tee correctly. As we head down the front stretch, going into turn one, hard on the brakes here. Gonna make this right-hander. See if he sticks the landing, and he does. There you go. Congrats there, Jeffrey Mark. Turn one in the books.
What it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, our battle, Wesley Holland is now extended another 10 seconds over Michael Melfeld Jr. So Michael Melfeld Jr. with the 45-second deficit over Wesley Holland is in definite command and control of this race. And Wesley Holland, and I mentioned this at the start of the race, you know, not a big road course racer and didn't think he had a lot for tonight. He's out here dominating.
You know what else? Am I right by saying this is 3 wins? Well, let's presume, right? It was 6 laps to go and a 42-second lead. Would this be 3 wins in a row for Wes?
It might be. Yeah, this would be his 4th win of the season. I believe it would be 3 in a row, and he's got them all recently. So I think he only had 1 race where he lost in between the races, and I don't remember which one that is. But yeah, Wesley is on a streak right now. Currently, it started off with Justin Michael kind of dominating the first part of this season, and now Wesley Holland is kind of starting to take command of this second stint in the season.
Yeah, people like Justin Michael, again, we're gonna, you know, it's gonna be a great points day for a lot of these guys. Justin Michael off the track in 17th spot here tonight.
So
here's
guys
gonna pick up more points.
I'm looking back at Wesley Holland's finishing. So he finished the 13th race of the season. This is back on April 25th. It was Talladega that Wesley got his first win. And then going further into the season, he got his second win at Sonoma. That was another road course. Then we went to Nashville last week, picked up a win, and now we're at Road America. And if he doesn't screw this one up, he is destined for a win tonight. And they're wishing Wesley Holland luck. Savage is out there. I'm not going to say what you said, Savage, but yeah, I guess Wesley's a beautiful guy. And go Bad Apple is what I'm hearing in the chat. So Wesley's got some fans out there. I wonder if Wesley's dad's out there tonight. I haven't seen him show up, but I know that Wesley's dad, oh, there he is. I see him. He's early in the chat, and somehow I missed it. So, or that is actually Wesley Holland. Not really sure, but
I don't want to interrupt. We're just looking at a quick replay of Vernon Margheim just smoked the tires in the turn 1 and try to take after Jeffrey Merck by mowing down the grass there, but picks up the pace, no damage, keeps on trucking.
Yeah, and Christopher Davis back there in 3rd, kind of making up some ground. He found himself back in 5th after taking a trip to the sand himself in that Wendy's machine, that 38 machine as he goes through the carousel. and getting this thing all set up for the kink here. So Christopher Davis back in the podium slot currently as we got 5 to go.
That we do. Back here, great battle. Christopher Howell, and looks like Jeffrey Merck has caught Christopher. Let's see if Jeffrey can make
machine.
a 20 machine or the 70. Yeah.
No, the 70 machine. I got it now. I can see.
Jeffrey Merck coming up quick here on the 70. To the inside. I think Christopher let him have that one pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good place to do it there as they head into Canada corner here. I think Christopher knew he was faster and just politely let him by. And Christopher Howell's having a nice quiet night. That car is clean. You can't say that for Jeffrey Merck, but Christopher Howell, that Toyota machine is super clean, making Fanatec proud tonight. So kind of running his own race, and that's kind of how you have to do it here. Michael Melton Jr. out there still holding on to that second spot. Got only 49 seconds. I say only, that's quite a bit, but hasn't been losing quite as much time up against Wesley since the last time I mentioned him. Only lost about 4 seconds so far, but Michael Melton Jr. having a solid night. And you know, Scott, I run quite a bit with Michael on Wednesday nights, and he's a pretty good road racer. And I think I don't want to jinx him here, but so Michael, if you're listening, put me on mute and focus on your race there and bring this thing home. And then I see Wesley Holland's dad just chimed in. So that was Wesley Holland's dad and not Wesley. I think I seen his name in the chat earlier and I missed it. And sorry about that, Wesley.
Looks like Jeffrey Merck, let's look at some lap times here. Merck last time by with a 2:12.7 and Christopher Davis with a 2:12.5. So Merck 2:10 slower, so I was thinking if there was any shot of Merck catching him, but it doesn't look like it as he's got a 20-second lead over Jeffrey Merck. Christopher Davis does.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of ground to make up in 4 laps, although that's about 12 miles. 4 miles, no, I can't even do math. That's 16 miles. That Jeffrey Merck's going to have to make up that kind of deficit. I don't think it can be done. Yeah. Unless Christopher Davis decides to go golfing again, so don't know how that's going to work out.
But he's got to go golfing before Merck goes golfing, and if I were a gambling man, I'd put my money on Merck going mowing first.
Yeah, well, hopefully Christopher Davis doesn't take that Wendy's Biggie Bag machine off in the dirt again tonight. Oh, and as soon as I mentioned that, it got a little hairy there coming in the final turn as we head towards the front stretch, but got it wound up, kept it safe.
You know what? Oh, Wesley Holland smokes him, gets locked up into the grass, into the dirt up here. I was just going to make note that he just put down the fastest lap of the race, a 2:11.2. Impressive. I think that was even faster than qualifying. And Wesley Holland locks it up there. I believe that was the bottom of turn 5. Let's take one more look. This is a replay here. There it is.
Oh yeah, just locks it up there. Yeah, well, Wesley had that nice lead, and it turns out he needed it too, because that was a mistake. And we talked about that earlier, Scott. You know, mental game that happens out here. You get out there running by yourself, you really don't have the pressure, and you sometimes make a mental mistake out there and almost cost yourself the race.
That is it for sure.
But I bet you Wesley Holland is sitting there. Well, I bet he's sitting there. Whew, thankfully, I had that 45-second lead. It's probably shrank now to about 30 seconds, but still a sizable lead out there.
Yeah, I can remember races where when I had a sizable lead, just like you mentioned, that it affords you to make those mistakes, and not that you're trying to, obviously, but when you make small slip-ups like that, if you can keep it to a minimum, you can rely on that kind of insurance that you put in the bank for the majority of the race to.
Yeah, and I also like to put that insurance, and Wesley Holland locks it up into turn 1. I think that was just slightly able to maintain control. No, I guess that was turn 4 as he heads down to the bottom of the hill towards turn 5, but smoked that tire a little bit. So Wesley Holland's pushing hard, maybe getting the focus back. As I was getting ready to say, but having that lead when you do pit stops too is kind of nice, because you can kind of make a decision how you want to pit the car, right? So whether you're going to take tires, no tires, you you kind of got some choices where if you're racing somebody super hard, neck and neck, it kind of limits your choices if you're trying to win. You know, you're going to go for the best time out there.
If I had to guess from Wesley Holland's standpoint, you know, he hasn't made many mental errors at all this race up until recently. We just made note, my eye was drawn attention to him because he just put down the best lap of the race with that 2:11.2 that I mentioned. To me, that tells me that he's playing mental games with himself, right? He wants to be better. He's trying to improve, trying to continue to push. He's not running 80% by any means. And I think when he saw that 2:11.2, he knew it was his fastest lap of the race, and he was trying to better it and go even faster, and just found crossing over that line just a little bit too much.
Well, he's becoming quite a road racer in his own right there, Scott, and kind of watched him on these road courses kind of struggle. He's usually a good finisher, but now he's out there running up front with the best of them. So Wesley Holland, we got another road course coming up here in about 2 or 3 weeks. We got a break. We got a break during the 4th of July week. I think next week we're off. And then we come back to, I think it's Atlanta, and then we go to Indy. And then so Indy, it's going to be interesting watching Wesley Holland. Now that Wesley Holland's probably going to tell us that he's not a road racer, but I'm going to be looking for this 41 car at Indy.
Well, I don't know to schedule all that much, probably as much as I should, but after Atlanta, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Oh, Michael Milfeld back here. So 46 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, kind of running through the field here. Nice quiet night for most of the guys. Vernon Margheim, the last car on the lead lap. He's in danger of going a lap down. I'm looking at Wesley Holland now, is approaching the rear mirror of that 33 machine and about to put Vernon Margheim a lap down.
While you were talking a couple minutes ago, we watched the real quick replay of Vernon Margheim got off the track again. I think it was a Canadian corner if I remember right. But we saw that replay of Vernon getting in trouble again. No damage to the car though, still looks sharp. Heath Smith, let's take a look if he got into trouble here. Locks it up, bottom of the course there, turn 5. Been treacherous for a lot of drivers. There he goes.
See, we're about a lap and some change there from the finish of this thing as they head through the carousel. Wesley Holland's going to be coming up on the 33 car. The question is, I wonder if Wesley Holland's going to back it down knowing he's pretty much got this race in hand with the 50-second lead, or if he's going to go up there and try to pass that lap car of Vernon Margheim and maybe get himself in trouble. So be interested to see if he holds off or
my vote is
to pass
he's
him.
going to go for the pass, I think, for sure. He's not going to sit behind him for a lap and a half. Yeah, but we'll watch it live here.
Kind of hard to do as they come through the last 2 corners here. We'll have 1 to go as they hit the front stretch here on the final turn here. Wesley Holland makes his right-hander, see if he takes a peek here on that 33 machine. And if he's going to pass him, this is probably the best place. So getting a nice run out of the corner here. Vernon Margheim going to the inside. Wesley Holland trying to get that draft. Looks like it's just going to tuck in behind that 33 machine. Not actually going to make the pass there. Scott backs off early.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if anything, to me, leaving your bumper that close to his rear bumper is just a recipe for a disaster.
Well, the other thing, too, is that Vernon Margheim's already had a couple of incidents tonight. So if he loses control of that car and you're just behind him, you got nowhere to go.
Right. And, Vernon has had issues, yes, but he's a little bit slower off the pace as well. So you don't necessarily know where his braking point is, and it's probably not the same as your braking point is being the leader of the entire race. So I would hate to,
to
be that
going
close.
Into
and
the
then,
downs.
What's that?
No, I'm just stepping all over you there, Scott.
We're still over each other.
Yes, going into Dowsley's content, just following that 33 car at the moment.
It does, smartly.
Hopefully you guys aren't too affected by that, but yeah, it's back. We're good. You guys out in chat. Ooh, Wesley Holland almost gets into the back of that 33 machine. I just caught that on the replay there, Scott. I noticed that. But anyway, as they come out of the carousel there, headed towards the kink here, this is the final lap, the last lap for Wesley Holland. Looks to the outside there of Vernon Margheim, but I thought he was going to try it. But we are on the last lap there, Wesley. Looking at this right, Scott?
This is the last lap here, yes.
Okay, good. Don't want to get ahead of myself.
Right.
Last 3 turns for Wesley Holland coming up the hill here. Keeping it safe there by Vernon Margheim. Final turn exit.
Do you think he's going to make a move to try to pass him before the finish line? I don't know.
Be kind of a dirty move now to put Vernon a lap down as we head up the hill for the start-finish line. Right here at the top of the hill, give the win to Mr. Wesley Holland, second road course win of the season, 4th race overall. Congrats, Wesley Holland.
Number 4, great job, dominating fashion. Minimize the start to finish. In corner.
Gonna make his last 2 turns. Easy tonight. We talked quite a bit about you tonight. Hopefully you don't do it in the last.
From Des Lodge, Missouri. Started 5th. Looks like he's gonna finish 2nd. Awesome job, Mike.
So there you go, Marabella Rose. So Michael Leftout Jr. having a really great night tonight there.
Christopher Davis, 3rd spot coming up the hill.
Solid night for our Canadian in the Wendy's machine.
From Delhi, Ontario, Canada. Started 3rd, finished 3rd. Look at that.
Jeffrey Merck is our next one up. Headed up the front stretch, up the hill. Jeffrey Merck had some trouble tonight, but he's going to get a solid 4th out of this. A decent night for Jeffrey Merck, even with all the troubles as he crosses the line.
Guess where Jeff started?
He started in the same position he finished in there, Scott, I believe.
Yeah, started 4th, finished 4th. Back here, Christopher Howell in 5th spot, coming around the last corner in the 70 car. From Moyock, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Moyock, North Carolina. Started 6th, finishes in 5th. Great top 5 finish there, Chris.
E. Smith headed up the hill for the final time, getting ready to cross the start-finish line. Nice, decent finish by that 0-2 car, kept it quiet. Started in 7th, finished in 6th. Nice job there.
James Double O Brown, didn't talk much about him, but it's almost a good thing on these road courses. Probably means he limited his incidents, but solid top 10 finish by James Double O Brown.
Now we got Vernon Margheim back here in the last car on the last lap. Wesley Holland wisely led him by, or didn't pass him, I should say, but that left me and you, Scott, to go through this whole running order, waiting for Vernon Margheim to get his butt around this track as he gets across the start-finish line there in the 8th, last car in the lead lap there. So good job there, Vernon.
There it is. In the grass is Vernon Margheim burning him down. See, Jeffrey Mark should take a lesson. You can win the race, and then you're allowed to run through the grass as much as you want.
Wesley Holland coming up for that victory burnout here up to the start-finish line. Again, dominating run by Wesley Holland. Out there, 211 flat, 211.062. Fastest lap, I believe, was 11.2. So running qualifying laps out there, gets it done tonight. Good job there, Wesley.
Great job as he burns it down on the front stretch here. We're going to let the results finish loading here, and then we'll talk to our front runners. We'll be back with you here in momentarily.
Yeah, Scott's looking for our race winners, or top 3 at least. Looking for their radios here. We're trying to find them. Some of them like a little bit more quiet time when we're road racing, but I'm not bringing up anybody on the radio chat at the moment there, Scott. Oh, I see Christopher Davis now.
You start with, you want to talk to Christopher Davis?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Christopher Davis up here in the booth with Scott Patton and myself. Hey, great job on that car tonight. You started in 3rd, ended up in 3rd. How'd your night go overall?
I started off pretty good. I mean, I was feeling pretty good with the car, and I managed to keep the leaders in sight for the longest time, which was kind of wild to me. But yeah, I don't know what happened there between Kim and I, but I think there's a miscommunication on the braking zone.
Oh, you're talking about when you were passing the 21 car. I was going to ask you about there. What happened? You know, we seen you go off into the sand there, kind of giving you a hard time about you dirtying up that Wendy's machine, but. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that.
Oh, he said he's going to give me the turn, but I don't know. I would have had to brake way sooner than him. I tried out braking him, but that didn't end up very good. So
One thing I'll notice, you were back there, and Michael Melfelt Jr. looked like he was gaining on you about halfway through the race, or the latter half of this race, before you had your incident. Were you worried about Michael coming up on you?
oh, I was worried about him, and then once I had my little incident there, I couldn't catch him for the life of me. So I was just trying to keep Merck behind me after that.
I have one tires at all tonight.
I took tires every time, but apparently that was not the correct thing to do, according to Wesley Holland.
Yeah, Wesley Holland showed everybody he could do it with no tires the entire night. So, yeah, he had a strong night. So, hey, you got anything for him, Scott, before we got him back to his team?
No, just awesome job there, Chris, with second place finish. Pretty consistent, stayed out of trouble most of the night, and good to see some fresh names up there. And what do you got for us next week? Well, we're off next week. Atlanta the following week?
Yeah, Atlanta.
That'll be interesting. I don't know. See if I can stay away from the chaos.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if iRacing is a chance that iRacing might have the new Atlanta Motor Speedway up. Potentially, that'll be fun, but I haven't heard any news about that just yet. So looking forward to it either way, and we will see you there, hopefully up front, and enjoy your week off. Have a great 4th of July. We'll talk to you from Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
All right, there we have it. And let's go to our second place runner, Michael Milfelt Jr. down here. Here's Scott Pat up in the booth along with Ken Huber. Congrats on the second place finish, Mike. I got to say, from all the incidents that we saw all over tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see you involved with many incidents or off-road very much at all tonight. Is that what you saw from your standpoint?
That's definitely what I saw. Thanks to Ken and Kim for running the road racing series, because that's the one thing I learned is you don't always have to be the fastest, just make the fewest mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. That was certainly the case tonight. One thing I noticed that I made comment on the broadcast, Ken heard me and Wes put up that practice room before the race started, and I went in there to look at practice time, see what people are doing, see what the car handling was like, and I noticed I took notes on the fact that you and Wes ran by far the most amount of laps in that room. So no surprise to see you guys finishing 1 and 2. So fantastic job. And I could that talent definitely showed of minimizing your mistakes, running consistent. You don't have to be the fastest, but you certainly outdid the majority of the field here tonight with the lack of mistakes. So fantastic job there.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Anybody you want to thank for second place finish here at Road America?
Oh, thank the league. Thank everybody I race with. I learned so much from everybody I race with on this league. Yeah, I just learned from James in the practice that Wes put up. I ran behind him for 3 corners and I learned something. So thank everybody in the league that runs.
There you go. I'm sure all those things are a great benefit. Ken Huber's road racing series on Wednesday nights, I'm sure, is a great benefit. And it's awesome to see guys like you running up front, and especially when it's intentional. You did it very consistently and without minimizing the mistakes. So great to see new names up front here. And what do you got for Atlanta in 2 weeks for us?
Hopefully 1 spot better.
I like it. I like the thought process. You got anything for him, Ken?
No, congrats, Mike. It's always a pleasure racing with you, especially on Wednesday nights. Well-deserved win. I liked how you raced this race tonight, just focused on the track, and you brought it home in second. You also had some fans out there in chat that were rooting for you, too. So Marabella, I think it was?
Yeah,
Is
that's my daughter.
Oh, okay. Well, your daughter was out there in the chat rooting for you, so congrats on that second place finish. So way to bring it home tonight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, enjoy your 4th of July weekend, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks' time from Atlanta. Great job, Mike. All right, and here is our race winner, Wesley Holland. Win number 4 on the season. I'll let Ken take over the interview for you.
I was thinking you should interview him, Scott, because it seems like every week I'm interviewing Wesley Holland now. So, Wesley, I only have one question for you, and then I'm going to turn you over to Scott. Are you going to show up on Wednesdays now? Because obviously you told me a fib last week how terrible you were on the road courses.
I really am terrible on road courses. Just, I guess, a bunch of practice this
you're
week.
running faster lap times than I could run. So on my little hot lap thing, I think the best I could do is like an 11.5. And that was like trying to show off. And here you run an 11-second flat in qualifying and like 11.2s during the race. So, man, you had your game on tonight.
I'll tell you what, like I said, I just put a ton of practice in. We practiced probably $10 worth of practice sessions this week. So I mean, it matters. Practice does matter on these road courses, especially with these heavy Cup cars.
So Scott and I were talking. You made one little mistake there late in the race, got off track a little bit. Was that kind of mental games? You had, like a 50-second lead at that point above Michael Melfeld Jr. and kind of slipped up there and got it off track. Was that a mental thing?
Yeah, I think I just got complacent there and forgot where I was at there for a second, I guess. I don't know. Just know I didn't downshift and didn't brake in the right point there, and that cost me 3 bonus points. So I wasn't too happy with myself about that one, but it is what it is. I guess we're not all perfect all the time, right?
No, that's for sure. But so early in that race, Justin Michael, I think you were in second, and you watched Justin Michael drive it off the track. Were you kind of licking your chops at that point?
I mean, I like I've said before, I didn't want to see that. I mean, I want to beat the guy straight up, head to head, who's faster, and figured I was saving a little bit of tire there in the first run. Didn't take any tires there on that first pit stop, and I knew it was going to be close because he was probably on the same strategy as me. I mean, we kind of run the same deal there. We know what's going on. So when I came out pit road there, I seen him coming in with a head of steam, figured he was going to make the pass, and then just seen him slide off. So unfortunate for Justin, but I mean, like I said, I wanted to race and see if I could ever make the pass on him. He was super fast in certain turns and had a lot of momentum going down the big straight. So I thought it would be a fun race there at the end if we could have just made it there together.
Yeah, well, that's mighty nice of you, because I'm a little more selfish than that. I'd be like, yeah, all right, I can chill out now. I got my competition just left the track. No, in all seriousness, that was a tough break for Justin Michael. We were looking forward. Scott and I were up here watching that race start to really heat up and kind of interested how that was going to shake out. So we're kind of disappointed in that too. But great heads up run by you tonight. I was going to say something else here. Oh, I got interrupted by some spam we had in the chat. So sorry if I asked a question that you already answered, but I'll turn you over to Scott. Scott might have something for you.
Yeah, Wes, talk to me about the mental game from being from having the dominating run early on and battling with Justin Michael until he made that mistake on pit road. But how was it after that, opening up a gap? And we saw you put your fastest lap down, man, in that third stint, I think, probably lap 22 or so, if I had to take a guess, with the 11.2. So you certainly weren't letting off at all. Was that intentional? And then we saw a big mistake right after you set that first lap down.
I mean, they're late in the run. I mean, the car was just naturally getting faster. It felt a lot better there later in the run, so I think that lap time just came naturally. I mean, I wasn't driving any different, maybe a little bit more cautious, but just knew that I had to make it to the end. So there was times where I was going to slide off, and I just decided to cram the brake and downshift instead of having an off track there. But like Ken asked about the time that I slid off there, is just getting complacent in the race. Way too many laps had gone by already. 28 doesn't seem like very many laps here. It's atrocious here. It takes forever to get to that marker. So
exactly. I think we were making a comment. I think it was 9 to go. We were talking about, I think you in particular, how much time there was left in the race. How 9 doesn't sound like a lot, but it is an eternity around this place. So I think we were talking about getting in the groove and kind of getting dazed out there, kind of daydreaming and the potential to make a mistake when you have that much of a lead. So congrats on keeping it under control in dominating fashion. You're quickly identifying yourself as a solid top road racer here in the multi-league series as you watch you do some donuts in slow motion here for the victory. Awesome looking paint scheme there too, the Kobe Bryant. Does John paint those for you?
This one was actually made by Robert, one of the league members here, so good buddy of mine for a long time. So I think it is Paint Slayer Customs. Yeah, John has done my original paint scheme that I was running the first half of the season. John paints those up, and I just decided to run this Kobe Forever paint scheme that Robert had made up for me, and I just back-to-back wins in it now, and 3 in a row. So not doing too shabby. I don't know if I want to get out of it or not.
Right? 3 in a row, 4 on the season, quickly catching that number of 6 that Justin Michael has. We saw him have that big mistake tonight. 2 weeks in a row, rough points night for him. So you're going to be closing up on that gap again on the point standings. What do you got for us 2 weeks in Atlanta?
Just another cookie cutter mile and a half. I mean, it feels like it's been forever since we've been to those again. So we had that one race at was it Nashville Super Speedway, and it kind of can't really judge that track. It's concrete and kind of can't. It was one lane. I feel like Atlanta is going to be kind of a passing track. We probably get 2 grooves in there. So looking forward to getting back to some regular cookie cutters and see what we got on these intermediate tracks.
All right, sounds good. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend off, and have a safe holiday, and we will talk to you 2 weeks' time from Atlanta. Congrats. Win number 4 in the season, Wesley Holland.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Congrats.
Well, there we have it, Ken. What do you think as a wrap-up for Road America?
Yeah, that was a really great race. It's too bad we couldn't see Justin Michael and Wesley Hahn go at it for the last set of laps there, but it is what it is, and sometimes these things happen. But not to take anything away from Wesley Hahn, it definitely was the class of the field tonight. So yeah, looking forward to Atlanta next week. That place is notorious for chewing up tires. We'll see how they handle it on the new next-gen car here. I think we're still running the old configuration. I don't believe iRacing's introduced the new Atlanta yet, right?
They haven't as of now. I don't know if is there potential.
I don't know. Now probably with 2 weeks to go. We just had our last build, so I imagine we're probably a season away from it, though.
Yep. So it looks like the old Atlanta, and which means to me screams tire strategy, right? Conserving tires and abrasiveness of that track.
Tires and there's actually a lot of wide racing there. Atlanta's a good track. We're going to see a lot of good action there, I believe, next week.
All right, sounds good. Everybody have a safe weekend. I was going through my results, but the results aren't working, just like the starting order wasn't working. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I apologize for that. But anyway, folks, have a safe holiday 4th of July weekend next week. We are off at the Multi-League Racing Network, and we'll catch you 2 weeks' time from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Be safe, everybody. We'll talk to you then. We'll leave you with some highlights from Road America.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Teach a man to fish, was it buy a man to fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.